but at the same time he's surrendering. So there's this contradiction where, you know, it's all about really looking tough, but in reality, the people in power are afraid. And, you know, they're cowards, and we have to stand up to them, because that's, you know, show that we're not going to be intimidated, because that's how you win here, is to not get intimidated and keep the resistance up. And so when they just indicted 15 people for non-violent resistance against the federal government, you know, obviously the purpose is to intimidate people and make them scared so they don't keep resisting, and they can just come in here and kidnap whoever they want. But the answer is to keep resisting more and more, so that they'll give up, like they did when they called off Operation Metro Search. Right. So the community pressure here is critical. It's absolutely critical. It's what's going to change the outcome of the cases, and it's what's going to win the victory against fascism. So
right.
Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you. I know right now what this administration is trying to do, and live here in Minnesota, I mean, even before June 3rd, for me, it started in California, it started in Portland, it started in other spaces where I knew that they were bringing heavy FBI presence. And I saw people that looked like me, that had the same background as me, being hurt and also being persecuted. And I knew that once it first came here on June 3rd, I knew that it would continue. And so for me, it's more than just what this administration wants to build out of this country, whether that be mass incarceration, whether that be mass detention centers, whether that be more places to cage people that are black and brown. For me, it's about the fact that there is freedom, that there is to be lived still. And I know that a lot of people from the same country where my parents are from, or countries that are, you know, not even on the Americas, just for them, there is barely the same liberties that we have here, and those liberties are being taken away from us day in and day out, every single day. And so I'm just really happy, because a lot of people are here, and a lot of people know that this we have to make a presence. We have to show that we can't let anyone be taken just because they can, just because they have the weapons. And honestly, for me, I've learned a lot about myself throughout this whole year. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, I don't like Trump. He's a coward. And I can say that at least I'm not a fucking coward. Woo. Yeah. And at least I can say I stand with the people that I love. I stand with, you know, my community. And I really hope that we can still giving light to a lot of, you know, immigration issues and cases, that people are still stuck in detention centers or being sent back home in the Dilley detention center. I know they're having inhumane stuff that's happening there too. And so, also justice for Renee Good, justice for Alex Pretty, because just in the same way they kept saying this is a serious case, that I did some type of violence. At the end of the day, I did not kill anybody, and that I don't belong to any entity or any government, or I'm only at the mercy of them, but I don't belong to any of them, you know, and that's not me, you know, at the end of the day. So thank you so much. Gracias.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's one of the 15 who can't come on.
Oh, that's right. That's great.
Love you, Isaac. I'm gonna bring Jonah. That's okay. Okay, so our next speaker is going to be from the National Lawyers Guild. Jonah, you want to come up and
for
share
you
some
who is joining, Issa, is this?
Hey everyone, thank you all for being here. My name is Jonah. I'm an organizer for the National Lawyers Guild Minnesota chapter. We've been organizing in support of Issa since June 3rd when she was arrested. We're here today after a long fight to celebrate Issa's win. And I'm here to celebrate her for everything that she's given to our community. She has showed us how to stand up to ICE occupation. On that day, on June 3rd, none of us here, raise your hand, I was there. I had no idea what the hell to do to stand up to federal agents in a Bearcat, federal agents with guns drawn in our faces, being herded around by MPD and Hennepin County Sheriff's Office. Through the bravery of Isa and through many other people who came alongside her, we learned how to stand up to ICE. We learned how to stand with people. We learned that there are always going to be more and more of us than there ever will be of them. And I am so, so grateful that Isa is here standing in 2 feet down in her freedom and continue this fight. So thank you, Isa. Let's give it up. Thank you. I also want to be clear that Isa stood up in the way that she did, and all of us have stood up in Minneapolis in the way that we have, not for any reason or because we hate Trump. It's because we saw the project of fascism and the project of racial terror for what it is. Isa saw it. She saw her neighbors being disappeared. She saw the leaders of the Trump regime raising Nazi salutes and demonizing our neighbors. She saw all of the people, our Somali neighbors, being dehumanized to justify Operation Metro Surge. We saw it, and we stood up, and now the people who have done so are facing the full weight of the fascist repressive regime. Last week, 15 Minneapolitans, union members, teachers, my professor from McAllister College, Isaac, who's over there, who can't be on federal property, were indicted for doing the same things that Isa and everyone else here in Minneapolis have done. We stood up, and we stood with our neighbors who were being terrorized for the color of their skin, for daring to come to this country. What we have to do as people and as neighbors are stand in steadfast solidarity with Isa and with everybody else who is facing this repressive regime. A mentor of mine has told me that in the criminal punishment system, the process is the punishment. Isa experienced this over the past year. 1 year, 4 days in jail, 1 year of doubts, of trying to figure out what the hell is going to happen with her case, not knowing if she was going to have to go to trial, and going through it alone before the hundreds of other people were indicted and faced charges. She drew strength from her community. In her community, I think we can all say we did our best to show up for her. We have to do the same for the 15 people that were indicted last week. We have to do the same for the 200 plus people facing state charges from Operation Metro Surge. We have to do the same for the Righteous 38 and all the other people still facing charges from Operation Metro Surge. There are over 200 people facing charges. Now, since I got the mic, I want to say something directly to the news media. There may be an instinct for you all to call someone a good protester and call someone a bad protester. In the indictment itself, there's a nod to the fact that these are bad protesters or something like that. The truth is, under fascism, there is no good protest. Under fascism, there is no way to exercise your First Amendment rights. If you dare to stand up to power, you will be criminalized. If you dare to write something that stands up to power, you will be criminalized. No matter your tactics, whether you got a softball or your own voice, you are a threat to the Trump administration if you dare to stand in their way. And so we need to stand up and recognize that we, the people, have power, and we, the people, need to stand in solidarity with anyone being criminalized in this moment. And, you know, I pray that we all have the strength of Isa as we do so. Thank you.
I'm going to invite up, we have one more speaker. I'm going to invite her up, Nakima from the Righteous 38.
Good afternoon. I just want to say I am so proud of Isabel Lopez and the strength that she has endured and demonstrated over the last year. The fact that she was one of probably the first person to be charged by the federal government meant that she had a lot riding on her shoulders. And she gave the rest of us an example of what it means to stand up and to fight and to not back down. The fact that the federal government started out with 5 felonies and wound up giving a plea agreement for 1 misdemeanor shows you how weak they actually are. Those charges never should have been brought in the first place. I'm grateful that Federal Judge Thunheim recognized the context within which Issa stood against those federal agents and the impacts to our broader community and a lot of the fear and panic and trauma that those federal agents caused. And just because they are connected to the FBI does not make them credible. The FBI has been responsible for kicking down people's doors, ramming their cars, snatching them, slamming women to the ground along with ICE. In our case, we are the righteous 39 because 39 of us were arrested. Even though one person's charges have been dismissed because of the fact that she wasn't even at the city's church protest, we still are counting that woman because she was unjustly charged and arrested by the federal government. So we are the righteous 39. We stand in solidarity with Issa. We stand in solidarity with the 15 protesters who were arrested last week and all of the folks who are continuing to face state and federal charges for standing up against the fascism and authoritarianism of the Trump administration during Operation Metro Surge. We have to take Issa's example to continue to stand 10 toes down for justice. They cannot arrest everybody. They cannot charge everybody. And we, the people, have a constitutional right to speak the truth. So we cannot be afraid. We cannot be intimidated. We have to stand in the spirit of our ancestors and the people who came before us, who resisted the tyranny, fascism, abuse, racism, genocide, slavery, and on and on and on. Unfortunately, that has been one of the bedrocks of this country, oppressing those who are considered to be the least of these. In this situation, in Minneapolis, 2025 and 2026 is no different. I want to let people know that tonight we will be having a powerful and compelling discussion about the impacts of ICE and the federal government during Operation Metro Surge at the main cinema. Come with or without a ticket. This is an important discussion. Nick Valencia, who worked for CNN for 13 years, will be here hosting the discussion. It includes myself, another person named Ahmed Ben Hassan, a young Somali man who was accosted by ICE, as well as Nick Benson, who monitored ICE flights and probably still does. So we're asking our community to come on out tonight to Main Cinema so that we can keep the momentum going, because the fight isn't over. ICE is still here. The federal government is still investigating people, and there might be more indictments coming. So we have to continue to stand firm, speak the truth, show up together in solidarity, and let's continue to support Issa. She still has a recovery ahead of her because of the trauma associated with this abuse that she experienced at the hands of her own government. Thank you all for being here.
What time at the main cinema?
7 p.m. tonight at the main cinema. Come with or without a ticket. Thank you.
So before we open it up for questions, because Issa is going to take some questions, and it'll please everybody just one at a time. Take your turns. And I do want to say that it was evident in that courtroom that the federal government is going to continue to try to run their narrative. It was their narrative in there that they were the victims, and they pretty much spelled it out that they were trying to ask for this additional year of probation for Issa to make an example of her, to deter others from standing up for their neighbors and their communities in the way that they are. And so that's the federal government's narrative. And what you're getting right here today is our narrative, that this is our story, that this is our truth, that this is what happened to Issa, This is her story and everything that she has been through and why she did it, right? Why this has happened. So please, if you're going to be bipartisan media, share both sides. Thank you. At this time, we'll open for questions.
So can you just talk about your emotions? One, inside the courtroom, and two, when you walked out and you saw everyone around you. What was going through your mind when the judge officially read up that sentence, then on you probation? And then what was your thought process when you walked out this door and you saw everyone here?
I was like, life is good. Life is good. I was honestly really surprised about the sentencing. You know, I was holding my breath a little bit with the probation, just because my family actually invited me. They have my passport. With the pre-trial conditions, they took away my passport. I have to get tested every month. And so a big part of my life is going back to Mexico and visiting my family and visiting, getting more in touch with my own indigenous groups. My family and stuff. And so they invited me in August for the celebration. And now, I feel good because I don't have to ask for all that BS. I can get my passport back. So a huge sense of relief, but also just a lot of celebration, a lot of love. At the end of the day, again, it's not about me, it's about everybody else. It's about the fact that I'm not the only one that's scared. There's more people here that are scared. There's more people here that was volunteering and helping during Metro Surge, and during this year, I was behind the scenes. I didn't do a lot of frontline work. A lot of people here did, and it was extremely scary. And so, I'm happy because it feels like a win, but really, we still don't have justice. And so I'm happy for also just being here with my people. So, yeah.
What was the probation? Just to give readers and viewers an understanding of what sentence is. What were the terms of your probation?
Yeah, so I was on pre-trial release. If I would have gotten the full sentencing, I would have been on probation, but this was pre-trial release. So because when they first arrested me the first time, I was actually going to stay in custody in jail until my next court. But because people came out and protested, I was able to be on pre-trial release, and I was supposed to have a trial. And so, yeah, this court again was supposed to be a trial that was supposed to happen in September. But that never happened. And so what made it even more harder was, again, just knowing that I'm a person that live by my ethics and my morals. I really care about the people around me, and I know a lot of people that also have been arrested also have that, and the hard part was just not being there for the people. It was hard for you to even emote or being there, with everyone else, and the stress. Honestly, even yesterday, I was in my car and I was chilling, but every time someone walked past my car, I was just ready to I was flinching all the time, And no, it doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter if I'm at my mom's house. It doesn't matter if I'm at my place. It doesn't matter I'm at work. I always do feel a sense of there's someone watching me, or there's a sense of I don't know, someone's gonna come and hurt me or grab me again. But I know I'm not the only one that's feeling this, but it's not. I wouldn't wish this on anybody, honestly, because it's I don't know when I'm ever gonna be the same again. Especially right now in the state that we're in with this president. So,
you had said some pretty bold and very powerful words. We couldn't record it because my light. Was that off the top of your head? Is that you've been carrying that? Is there anything you would like to repeat to the cameras that you just?
I wrote it in my notebook. There's Nia. Nia has my back.
Nia.
I basically, when I write, because I usually write, but this whole year I just haven't been able to write. But at that moment, I was ready, and so for me, I wanted to talk to the judge. I wanted to talk to how he sees things, but also talk a little bit about how the prosecutor was saying this. And to me, it didn't make any sense that the prosecutor was still saying that this was something very violent and this was something that needed to be basically punished. And for me, like that,
extraordinarily serious.
Extraordinarily serious. Which again, I'm 5'2", maybe I'm 5'3" now with the heels, but like I'm not a threatening person, or you know. And like for me, the point was just like, you know, I still have back pains from that day. When my back was on the ground, I know I was never be the same again. Just like the Twin Cities have never been the same since then. I'm really thankful for my community, and still, I still, you know, that they still have my back. But I know, but I know that people who look like me and like are going through this right now don't have that as well. And one thing I just really wanted to get across was like, even though they were calling me violent, the things that they have been doing have been very violent. They've detained over 7,766 people, you know, and those people are still in detention centers, and they probably are grabbing more people now. And so, for me, I think it's ridiculous, again, that they're saying that I'm the crazy one. That I mean, I went off to say that like this is a bit insane. That the sanity isn't there, and that this country in and of itself just doesn't have any sanity if they're saying that I'm violent. But then the FBI agents who killed Renee Good and killed Alex Pretty are not violent because they never got into trial, they never got convicted. There's no sanity, there's no justice, there's no court for them. But you're telling me I'm violent, a person that's brown that looks like the people that they're detaining? It has no sense to it. It has no sense to it. And so for me, it was just, you know, saying that to the judge and just being honest about where I'm at. So yeah.
Do you have a message for immigrant youth or children of just like how to stay strong in this moment where they're so under attack right now?
Yeah, like you're stronger than what you realize. And like, you know, I love you, I love you. But sometimes, like, you know, your parents have a lot of fear because of everything that's happening. And sometimes that fear isn't yours to carry. What is yours to carry is a life that you want to give to. Whether that even be something of justice, whether that be like with your friends or like at a higher degree, or even just if you want to like make shirts all day. Like, regardless, it is your life. Do it with love. Do it with the fact that you can and that you have that freedom. And so, yeah.
I think we could do one more question and wrap up. Anybody has another question? And if not, we'll end it here. Let's get another round of applause for Isa.
How can loved ones, community, anybody that has been supporting you along the way support you going forward? And if you don't have an answer for that right now, that's really cool. Any avenue that you're just like, this is an avenue that you can support me and just send anyone.
For sure. I mean, like, I feel like I've been spoiled, honestly. I feel, yeah, like I think the biggest thing right now is like I'm trying my best to be just more cognitive of my body, you know. I mean, I know a couple practitioners, but if you know any more, that'd be great. And also, I'm trying to do a short film for one of my poems to kind of just, I think what's me, it's like all this put in perspective, and I've had to shift also as just like an activist or somebody who wants to like share their voice. And so like I'm gonna put a GoFundMe if you want to help fund that project. So yeah, thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. In closing, I just want to say thank you to Isa for being so brave through all of this, for Jordan seeing it through from the jump, from me messaging him that first night that she was arrested, to her family for, you know, being supportive, and he continues to support those that are still in the fight.
Thank you too, Rachel. Thank you.
Woo!
question.
I was in a bubble bath.
I didn't see that. What was the resolution? Because I missed the beginning.
The resolution is just one misdemeanor. Right? It's just one misdemeanor.
And they dropped.
Time
This is a
served and no probation.
no probation.
No probation.
Right on.
So I'm getting my passport.
$25 fee.
$25.
No fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, that was the information right at the end there. I'm going to go ahead and show you. We are at the courthouse. It's real, and I'm going to take this feed down. There's some people supporting. There's federal defendants across the street who can't be on federal property, who are yelling support from across the street. And people are breaking up now. Keep following the District Movement for more information. Hopefully no longer about Issa's case, because that is literally resolved right now. Thanks to everyone who came out to our events, who came to the art builds, who came to the press conferences we've been holding. There's going to be more because there's other people who are facing charges, but just so you know, all that work, the signing of the petition, all of that led to this day today where Issa was given I think it was 5 felonies they're facing. They turned into one misdemeanor, turned into a misdemeanor. The government was trying to give the man a year of probation. The judge said that already kind of happened based on how everything played out. They've been waiting for this court hearing for a year. We're on probation the whole time. And given the circumstances that he felt that this should be resolved today, there was a $25 fee that was paid, and this is now resolved. And Issa is, we'll all follow along. Because, I work with Issa, so hey, we'll see more of what we're doing. But again, thank you everybody who came out to every one of those events. All your prayers, all your words. You're talking to your loved ones across the kitchen table about what's going on. Thank you for doing that. Continue doing it for everyone else who's facing these unjust charges. And we'll see you, hopefully not the streets, but you never know. And, hopefully over a meal. Talk soon.
How you doing?
I'm so really happy about the
Yeah, I know.
But today?
Or like,